So as one of the leading landlord rights attorneys here in Lake County, Illinois, we can tell you that one of the most persistent problems that we run into in tenant eviction cases is evasive tenants, meaning that the occupants of property that are being rented will frequently go out of their way to avoid process servers who are seeking to hand them legal notices which are necessary to proceed forward in court. Tenants frequently know that if they can avoid being handed certain paperwork, that the case will be slowed down, that they will be able to continue residing in the property for free and without much of a consequence for as long as they can continue to stay away from being handed the necessary court paperwork. The rules that we use here in Illinois remain somewhat archaic. We make it very difficult to notify people of court proceedings by essentially requiring that in almost all cases paperwork be personally handed to them or to somebody age 13 or older who resides with them. Even though we live in an age where everybody uses text messages, cell phones, and email, and also uses regular snail mail, and it should be fairly easy to notify somebody that there is a pending court case. So in dealing with these situations, we found a couple of things. One is that the best remedy to deal with the situation is to get a persistent process server. We have one that we've worked with here for many years, so we'll keep going after those tenants as many times as necessary in order to get the tenant served with the necessary legal paperwork. And when necessary, we'll also send out a different person because sometimes the tenants will come to learn what the process server looks like. We'll try to avoid that person, so perhaps sending somebody different will be helpful. In some cases, the tenant makes it so incredibly difficult by doing things such as not answering the door, refusing to step out of their car, and doing other things that basically make it impossible for anyone to come in physical contact with them, that we can, after multiple attempts have been made and the person has been evasive, petition a judge to allow the tenant to be served by posting. Posting means that a notice is then hung on the door by the Lake County Sheriff's Office, as well as being hung in certain public places, notifying the tenant and the world in general that an eviction case is pending against this particular person. Posting cannot be done right off the bat. It has to be done only after it appears to be impossible to serve the tenant and the parties named on the lease otherwise. The negative part about serving a tenant by posting is that it can be used only to get possession of the property. It cannot be used to get a money judgment for unpaid rent or damage to the property, late fees, unpaid utility bills, and things of that nature. So posting should generally be a last resort that should be used only when absolutely necessary. Anyway, we try to tell our clients up front that we will do everything we can to move their legal case along as quickly as possible, but we must comply with the court rules as they exist. And if they have a difficult tenant, they should expect that things could be slowed down, but that we will do everything in our power and with the vendors that we choose to use to try to get the case moved along as quickly as possible. If you have a eviction situation with one of your tenants and you need legal help, feel free to contact us here at 847-599-9101.